All right. This is a story called Something Good by Robert Munsch, illustrated by Michael Marchenko. And this is about everybody's favorite adventure, going grocery shopping. Tia went shopping with her father and her brother and her sister. She pushed the cart up the aisle and down the aisle, and up the aisle and down the aisle, and up the aisle and you get the point. Tia said, "Sometimes my father doesn't buy good food. He gets bread and eggs and milk and cheese and spinach. Blah. He never gets anything good like ice cream or cookies or chocolate bars or ginger ale." So Tia very quietly snuck away from her father and got a cart of her own. She pushed it over to the ice cream, and then she put in 100 boxes of ice cream. And Tia pushed that cart up behind her father and said, "Daddy, look!" And her father turned around and yelled, "Yikes!" And Tia said, "Daddy, good food." "Oh no," said her father. "This is sugary junk. It will rot your teeth. It will lower your IQ. Put it all back." So Tia put back the 100 boxes of ice cream. She meant to go right back to her father. Really, she did. But on the way, she had to pass the candy. She put in 300 chocolate bars into her cart. And Tia pushed that cart up behind her father and said, "Daddy, look!" And her father turned around and said, "Yikes!" And Dad and Tia said, "Daddy, good food." "Oh no," said her father. "This is sugary junk. Put it all back." So Tia put back all the chocolate bars, and then her father said, "Okay, Tia, I have had it. You stand right here and don't move." Now, Tia knew when she was in big trouble. So she stood there and she didn't move. Actually, I should say it like this. She stood there and she didn't move. Some friends came by and said hello. Tia didn't move. A man ran over her toe with his cart. Tia still didn't move. A lady who worked at the store came by and looked at Tia. She looked her over from the top to the bottom, and she looked her over from the bottom to the top, and she knocked on Tia's head. But Tia still didn't move. The lady said, "This is the nicest doll I have ever seen. It looks almost real." She put a price tag on Tia's nose that said $29.95. And then she picked Tia up and put her on the shelf with all the other dolls. A man came along and looked at Tia. He said, "This is the nicest doll I ever seen. I'm going to get that doll for my son." And he picked Tia up by the hair, and Tia yelled, "Oh, stop!" And the man screamed, "It's alive!" And he ran down the aisle, knocking over a pile of 500 apples. A lady came along and looked at Tia. She said, "This is the nicest doll I have ever seen. I think I will buy this doll for my daughter." And she picked Tia up by the ear. And Tia yelled as loudly as she could, "Oh, stop!" And the lady screamed, "Ah, it's alive!" And she ran down the aisle, knocking over a pile of 500 oranges. Then Tia's father came along looking for his daughter. He said, "Tia? Tia! Tia! Tia, where are you? Tia! What are you doing up on that shelf?" And Tia said, "It's all your fault. You told me not to move it. People are trying to buy me." "Oh, come now," said her father. "I won't let anybody buy you." And he gave Tia a big kiss and a big hug. And they went to pay for all the food. Oh, the end. So the man at the cash register looked at Tia and said, "Hey, mister, you can't take that kid out of the store. You gotta pay for her. It says here, right on her nose, $29.95. "Wait," said the father. "This is my own kid. I don't have to pay for my own kid." The man said, "If it has a price tag, you have to pay for it." "I won't pay." "You've got to." "No." "Yes." "No." "Yes." "No." And then the father and Julie and Andrew all yelled, "No!" And the man said, "Yes!" And they said, "No!" And then Tia quietly said, "Daddy, don't you think I'm worth $29.95? Well, well, of course you're worth $29.95, said the father. And he reached into his wallet and got out the money and paid the man and took the price tag off of Tia's nose. And Tia gave her father a big kiss and a big hug. And then she said, "Daddy, you finally bought something good after all." And then her father picked up Tia and gave her a big long hug, and he didn't say anything at all. The end. For real this time.